Tonight, a Riverina town threatened as the fire emergency moves into New South Wales. The Premier warns tomorrow's fire conditions in Sydney could be the worst ever. First on 7, the man forced to watch his family's home burn down. And Julia Gillard visits Tasmania's disaster zone, comforting fire victims.
This is 7 News at 6 with Mark Ferguson.
Good evening. A total fire ban will come into force for the entire state at midnight as we face the worst bushfire conditions in the history of New South Wales. In this special 1-hour edition of 7 News and Today Tonight, we'll bring you comprehensive coverage of the extreme heat that's heading for Sydney, the unprecedented fire danger across our state, and the latest on the search for survivors in Tasmania's bushfire disaster. But first to the bushfire emergency in the state's Riverina, with the entire town of Ara told to evacuate to Wagga Wagga this afternoon as a fast-moving grass fire approached. Alex Hart is there. Alex, what's happening now?
Mark, a short time ago, the Rural Fire Service downgraded the threat level to watch and act and be ready to move if the situation worsens, which is still possible given that this fire is still burning out of control in some parts.
Up next in this special 1-hour edition of 7 News, the catastrophic fire conditions in New South Wales will cross to the state's hotspot. Also, victims of a vicious Sydney home invasion gang speak out. And what Warnie says about the punishment for his Big Bash clash. That's next. You're watching a special 1-hour edition of 7 News. Fire authorities here in New South Wales are on high alert tonight with extreme fire danger in the state's southwest. In the town of Hay, it's still 44 degrees. Sean Berry is there. Sean, it must have been a very nervous day for Riverina locals.
Absolutely, Mark. The fire danger here is extreme with conditions expected to worsen. A district firefighting headquarters has been set up to respond immediately to any outbreak, and firefighters could have their hands full with late thunderstorms and lightning predicted. And one of the huge firefighting helicopters is on standby in Wagga Wagga.
You're watching a special 1-hour edition of 7 News and Today Tonight. After the break, the warning from health authorities for tomorrow's Sydney heat wave. Plus, food prices have been falling, but will they stay low? And a visitor that had authorities on the hop at a major airport. That's next. Welcome back. You're watching a special 1-hour edition of 7 News. All national parks in New South Wales will close tonight because of the extreme fire danger tomorrow. Live to Talitha Cummins now. Talitha, how long do people have to get out?
Hello, Mark. Well, people are being told not to enter parks tonight, and those already camping there must leave first thing tomorrow morning. Now, the state's 850 parks, reserves and, in fact, all public land will be closed for 24 hours from midnight. Staff will be sent to the major camping areas like the Blue Mountains and Ku-ring-gai tomorrow morning to ask people to leave. They won't be forcibly removing them, but certainly warning them that it's in their best interest to go.
Checking finance now, and the share market has closed slightly lower despite signs of investor confidence. The ASX 200 finished down 7 points. Whitehaven coal shares fell heavily following a hoax announcement on funding for a project in northeast New South Wales. The banks were mixed. And our dollar is buying just over 104 US cents. You're watching a special 1-hour edition of 7 News and Today Tonight. Up next, the latest on the state's unfolding fire emergency and tomorrow's catastrophic conditions. And the forecast for Sydney property in 2013. Should you buy or sell?
Arnold clashed with fans at full time. Mark, it is that time of the year. If you want tennis, just lock it on 7-2. It's all there.
Go Slam and Sam.
Go Sam.
Good on your Brett. Thank you. Next in this special 1-hour edition of 7 News and Today Tonight, we'll return live to the state's fire danger zone and the latest on Sydney's forecast heat wave. Plus back to Tasmania, where there's good news in the search for survivors. That's next. Welcome back. This is a special 1-hour edition of 7 News and Today Tonight on the bushfire emergency. And we'll go back now to the fire that threatened the town of Ara near Wagga Wagga this afternoon. Alex Hart is there. Alex, what's the situation right now?
Well, Mark, the Rural Fire Service downgraded the threat level to watch and act, which means be ready to move if the situation worsens, which is definitely still possible given that the winds have really started picking up again in the...
Let's go to Sally Barry now with Sydney's weather forecast. And Sally, it's shaping up as a very tough week.
That's right, Mark. Tomorrow, of course, is the day of big concern for firefighters, but that won't be the last of the heat. We're being warned we'll see more hot temperatures into next week and no significant rain on the way either. Don't be fooled by the grey skies we saw across Sydney today. Of course, the city saw a fairly mild one. We reached a top of 27 degrees. It was warmer in the west thanks to the northerly winds, 34 in Penrith, 33 in Richmond, and Liverpool hit 31. On the satellite, we've got that intense heat bringing fine, clear skies across much of the country. Tomorrow, it will be Sydney's turn to experience some of that intense heat. The late southerly change will push into southern New South Wales around 9 o'clock tomorrow night, which will bring some relief. Around the nation tomorrow, very hot and windy for Canberra, a shower or two and 31 for Melbourne, fine and very warm in Adelaide. On the water, it will be choppy with winds gusting up to 30 knots, while it will be hot very early on in Sydney tomorrow morning, sparking extreme fire dangers across the city. To make matters worse, gusty winds will kick in the afternoon as temperatures rise to 43 degrees. That change won't hit Sydney until around 2 a.m. on Wednesday morning, and we're being warned Tuesday night temperatures will remain around the 30-degree mark right up till around midnight before things start to cool down. Looking further ahead, we can expect some cool relief on Wednesday and Thursday. However, don't get too used to it. It will be short-lived. We've got hot and northwesterly winds redeveloping on Friday and Saturday, which will heat up the western suburbs again. So, Mark, certainly some very tricky weather ahead over the next week or so.
There sure is, Sal. Thank you. That's 7 News and Today Tonight for this Monday. I'm Mark Ferguson. Please take care tomorrow. I'll be back with bushfire updates throughout the evening.